by Play Alberta. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. And for a limited time only, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code GYB50. That's how Alberta wins.
Holy smokes, a whole pile of emotion going on tonight for the sports fan in this city and in this country. Heartbreak on one hand, overtime elation on another, and how about a bit of redemption for one Evan Bouchard on this night? Welcome to Got Your Back, folks. Some great storylines for us to dive into tonight, and looking forward to a great show. Jason Strudwick is on the road, but is coming to you from a business center somewhere, in a hotel somewhere. The big guy showing up tonight for the show. Rob Brown, we'll check in with him, see how our buddy's doing. Can't imagine it's great. And we got Zuby as well. Everybody feeling the sting of a Blue Jays loss, but an Oilers overtime win gives us lots to dig into tonight. Struds, as always, our show brought to you by our awesome title sponsor, Timber House Developments.
Yeah, it sure is. And they're the leader in custom and infill development with the knowledge and experience to bring your dream to life. If you're tired of cookie cutter, copy and paste designs with no soul, see the team at Timber House and discover how naturally inspired living can make your life better. Take all the guesswork out of your infill project and work with experienced leaders. Visit timberhouse.ca.
All right, so look, we're going to have to talk about the Jays. But then Rob Brown's going to join the show, and we're going to have to talk about the Jays again. So I think we'll do a little bit now, but we'll save some of the conversation for later on when Brownie joins us, two boys. But safe to say, did anyone, any idea what happened in the second period of the Oiler game? Because someone's going to have to fill in the blanks a little bit for me. But you guys follow this a lot closer than a lot. Heartbreaking way to lose a World Series, Struddy, but an amazing story overall.
Yeah, I'm down in Calgary with my son for hockey, and we were in a hotel where they had multiple screens, so I was able to watch both at the same time, going from, joy with the Jays to sadness, and then watching the Oilers and seeing them score, which is, it's not the same, obviously, but the Jays, I feel sick for them. They worked so hard. It was such a great story. Couldn't quite get it done. I kept saying they need one more run, 7, 8, 9, one more run. Couldn't quite get it done, Zoobs.
Yeah, and I mean, just what for a game 7? What a game! For other than the 18-inning game, of course, the other games weren't really close, and this was Jays out to the 3-0 lead, and the Dodgers clawed back, and the Jays got another, and you thought, okay, that's going to be enough, and so many opportunities, and even in the bottom of the 9th and in the 10th, I mean, man, leaving guys on in scoring position, it just it's heartbreaking stuff that they didn't find a way to get it done.
A lot of stranded runners, hey, like that, just, man, so many opportunities. And like their bats were getting the job done, Struddy. They were getting themselves in position. They just couldn't finish off.
Running the scoring position. I'm not going to say I'm a baseball expert, but both teams left quite a few batters in our players on base, and that's a hard one. You think back as a player, opportunity missed, or and obviously Kirk is the one at the end that ends it. And then I'm not blaming him at all, but there are so many Blue Jays tonight that had opportunities to get someone home, drive in a run, and they were unable to do it. So I would think those would haunt you. Not to mention, the two pitchers that gave up the home runs. Again, I'm not putting the loss on them, but as an individual, it does stay with you. It sticks with you. The great you do, but also when one gets away from you, whether or not it's with the bat or with your arm.
Yeah. It was a weird scene in the rink, you guys. Like, they had the game on the big screen while the Oilers were playing. So they didn't have it on the whole big screen. It was just like in a little box. So half of the screen was the Oiler game and the other half was the Jays game. And there'd be a face-off at the blue line and then a big roar from the crowd. And you could tell the players were sort of like trying not to look, but kind of looking. And then like, just, it was really strange inside the bill. I totally understand why they did it. Like, people are going to want to see that. And they've done that in other cities for other events and stuff. But we'll get to the Weiss Johnson Soundbox early here, because for anybody that was at that game and you're wondering, how do the players feel about that happening? Now, they didn't do it in the third period. It was a close game, and they shut down the Blue Jays for the entire third period and stopped showing it, but they showed it through most of the second. So here's Connor McDavid postgame on kind of what it was like having the Blue Jays game on TV while you're trying to play some hockey.
That was really, really strange. Obviously, we're all on the Jays bandwagon, and everybody's wanting them to win, and it's so disappointing, obviously, but strange to have it on during the game. Listening to the crowd was distracting for sure. I'm glad they shut it off there for the third.
When they're showing it, not only showing it, but they're showing it with sound during the TV timeouts as well.
Yeah,
that's
it was bizarre. Yeah, it was bizarre. It was bizarre. I found myself watching the Jays game, sitting on the bench. Listening to the crowd while I'm on the ice. What just happened. It was very strange. But you know what? Historic moment. Couldn't be more gutted for those guys. Obviously we know what that feels like. It's and for it to be the way it happened, just completely gutted for those guys. It's been a fun run and been a lot of fun. They've given Canada a lot to cheer about, and they should be very, very proud of themselves.
You guys.
What do you figure there, Struddy? Game on during the game, and McDavid's reaction.
You know what? I have never seen that before. I never had that happen to me before. And I honestly, I didn't know what was going on because we had the two games, so I wasn't listening to the broadcast. Yeah. But then someone else texted me that during the game. They're like, "This is what's going on." I'm like, "What?" It would be very distracting. And listen, these guys are human too. They follow sports. They're following NFL, MLB, tennis, whatever, lacrosse. They're into it. And a lot of these guys are from Ontario, so they would be Toronto Blue Jays fans. So of course you'd be sneaking peeks. There's no doubt about it. You've been sneaking peeks, seeing what's going on. You want to know because you're really invested in what they've done because you've been following them this whole run.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an interesting night, that's for sure. Okay, there was a hockey game, and we do need to talk about it, Struddy. So let's get to our breakdown, and that is brought to you by our good partners over at the Canadian Brew House.
It sure is. During every Oiler game day at the Canadian Brew House, enter at any Edmonton and area location for your chance to win Oilers home game tickets. Plus, enjoy $1 off Molson Canadian and Coors Light tankards. Edmonton-born, Canadian-operated, 48 locations across Canada. That's our good buddies at the Canadian Brew House.
All right. So not a perfect night for the Oilers, but they grab a couple of points and they end up winning it in overtime. I think, honestly, in fairness, the place I want to start here, Struds, is Evan Bouchard. Because, we've been talking a lot about him on this show, and rightfully so. And a couple of nights ago, we're standing there just clobbering him over the head with questions about turnovers, and he's answering all the questions and staying pretty even keel. And then tonight he goes out, and again, not a perfect night from him. There were still some errors here and there, but a lot of Oilers made errors, and he scores the overtime winner. Like, he goes out and wins the game for his team. So I like the fact that he did that. Those mistakes don't disappear, but he kind of took the narrative and rammed it down our throats. And good for him. I like the fact that he did that, showed some compete, and came up with a big moment after being challenged pretty significantly.
Yeah, he sure did. And and listen, I think what Oilers fans are troubled by with Evan Bouchard is the highs, the extreme highs, and then the extreme lows. And we know what he can do when he's on, right? When he is wheeling and dealing, he is elite company as far as a D-man. But it's when those plays that you're like, this can't happen, right? This can't be this guy doing this. So we know what the game's in there. We've seen it for many playoff games and runs, two or three deep runs. So it's there. All he has to do is lift the floor. That is it. Lift the floor up, and he is what he can be on important nights.
And he came up with a big moment and an overtime winning goal. Struds, let's get to the Weiss Johnson soundbox. I want to hear from Evan Bouchard, but I also want to hear again from Connor McDavid, who certainly came to Bouchard's defense tonight post-game. But our soundbox brought to you by Weiss Johnson.
Should you need a new train furnace, air conditioner, heat pump, hot water tank, or garage heater, Weiss Johnson's here, now offering 24 months, no interest, equal payments, OAC to make your purchase easier heading to the Christmas season. Their family helping your family for nearly 50 years. Visit wjjingle.com for exclusive specials just for Got Your Back jingle lovers. Let's hear it. Hit it.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
I cut everybody short of the jingle last game, so I'm going to let her breathe a little tonight. I aggressively cut the jingle off last show, Zuby, so you can let her buck a little here.
I aggressively cut it off this time because I was trying to flip over to the other set of pads for the sound. But here, we'll bring it back.
Oh, we gotta just let it finish now.
Hey.
All right. People needed that. I think we need the big finish. I think that was the right call. I feel like that was the right call to do tonight. People needed the jingle. They're a little down, a little beat up, hurting over the Jays. I think that was the right call. We might even go for a second Weiss Johnson jingle at some point in the show here, so stay with us.
Could you imagine the moment of being in the audio booth with that guy as he brings it home at the end there? I bet that was a real moment.
Like one take. That was done in one take for sure. No question that's a one take Weiss Johnson jingle. Let's go to Evan Bouchard talking about, answering the bell answering the questions a few nights ago and then answering the bell tonight.
Yeah, it was definitely cleaned up, a little simpler. It was better.
Take us through the overtime goal. I mean, I know you were on the ice with the guys. It was at the time in 3-on-3, but what was the look you got there and how it shaped up?
I think it started with those guys, a few shifts before changing, getting them tired, and then when you get a tired group with Connor Leon out there, they're going to make a play. I just tried to get open. Leon made a good pass, and glad it went in.
All right, there's Evan Bouchard. He had a little bit more to say, too, just about kind of...
Is it sort of...
There it is.
Sorry, I don't actually have that. That was something else. My bad. I might have taken the wrong clip for you there, but I didn't have the even keel one if that was the question to him. So I apologize for that. Yeah. That's what I have of Bouch.
Oh, no, that's okay. No worries. No worries. We're good.
I got the I got the coach on him, and I got 97 on him as well.
Okay. Well, let's hear Connor McDavid talking a little bit about Evan Bouchard and the criticism.
I mean, isn't that the most Bouch thing ever? To stand in there like he does, you guys can say what you want about him. We love him in there. We know he's his best is among the very, very, very best. We got his back no matter what's going on. So, his play can be better. Everyone's play can be better. But really happy for him to get that big goal and quiet some people a little bit.
Hey, Struds, they know what's going on in there. I like that from the captain. Good for Evan Bouchard tonight, and good for McDavid to come out swinging a little bit.
Yeah, but listen, he's honest, right? He says his play can be a little bit better, but so can all of ours. Like, you don't have to try to fool people and lie to say that, he's playing amazingly well, but then don't also throw him, down on the canvas. Say, yeah, he can be better, which everyone knows, but everyone on this team can be better, right? They're in their pre-Christmas kind of doldrums, if you will. But I like that he backed him up. So that's what Bouchard does. He can have big moments. So I think it was he battled stood up for Bouchard, but also he kind of just said it like it was. And it wasn't throwing him underneath the bus. He just called him out and not called him out, but just said how the truth is. And I like that about Connor. His answers are answered and they do make sense.
Yeah, definitely. Chris Knobloch on Evan Bouchard as well tonight, Zuby.
He's able to put things behind him as well as he can. And I know his game has been frustrating himself. Like, it's not like he's been whatever, shrug his shoulders. That's not the case with Evan, but he's he feels, and so do we, that he can be one of the best defensemen in the NHL every night, and he wasn't playing like that. But, tonight was more of what I'm familiar with. He made some nice plays. The power play went 2 for 2. He has a lot to do with that, and he gets the overtime winner. So, obviously he's got a lot of attention about his mistakes that he's made. Hopefully he feels good and gets some recognition for the overtime winner tonight.
All right. Moving on, other topics. And I want to get to Jack Roslovic here. So you know what? Let's just get right to our DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center YouTube poll. A brilliant idea to use Roslovic for the poll tonight. Really, really well thought out here. Zuby, why don't you roll? Actually, Struddy, give us the DeBoer's read, and then Zuby, give us the poll.
You got it. Get fit now before you get out your shovels and ice chippers. Get fitted while you still have your summer swing over at our buddies at DeBoer's. Their TrackMan bays are ready, and their deals are hot. Go down and check out their pro shop style atmosphere located at 5311 99th Street in Edmonton.
All right. Yeah. I can't remember exactly how it happened, but I think I came up with this one all by myself. The DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center question tonight is, what is Jack Roslovic going to be this year for the Oilers? So the choices we've got here are locked in top 6 with regular power play time. The second choice is top 6 with power play spot duty. The third choice is middle 6 who can move up. And the fourth choice is placeholder until trade deadline. Not necessarily implying that he would be traded, but that maybe there's someone coming in that bumps him down in the lineup, right, Struddy?
Yeah, that was the thought that I think whoever came up with this poll had, and the idea is that he is going to be good here in the regular season, but they may look to add a little more depth and maybe a little more size or something in that spot, and that doesn't mean he's not doing a good job. They just want a different look there.
Yeah, I think this is a great poll. Everything but that last option, I think, is really on point. But we'll see what the people out there. We'll see what the people out there have to say.
Yeah, so obviously we're in a bit of an inside joke. I won't let everybody in on it. I presented a great idea using Jack Ross. It barely got out of my lips, and Rishaug was like, "Yeah, that's what I was going to say." No, you weren't going to say it. And then he reworded in his words and came up like he just rewrote, what's that, War and Peace. He's the one who wrote it first, and then someone stole it for him. So
no Struds.
War,
this
what is it good
thing.
for?
The art form of coming up with a poll isn't just coming up with like a player's name. And you were like, you just said Jack Roslovic. And then when you tried to describe what the question was going to be, you were like, well, in the long term, what is the possibility that he might be able to? And you were meandering on and on and on. In no way was that an executable poll idea. You were just meandering on and on. So I did have the idea at the same time, maybe even a little before you, and I dialed in all your thoughts and got us down to a poll that made sense. Your only contribution was that fourth option.
Just the big idea. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, you're right. I did make the big idea, and that's okay. It's like whoever invented the iPhone. What's his name again? Steve Jobs. That's who I'm like, and you're right about that. I accept your endorsement.
By the way, to this point, his option that he gave has 0%, but probably people will start voting for it now.
Well, they don't understand it.
Any second, Struds. Any second, people are going to really get on board with being a placeholder till like what? Who's getting traded? Is he getting traded? Is someone else getting traded? What does placeholder mean? Like I'm not liking that option. Relentless player, Struds. What do you want to do? You get a
I've got a relentless player. Yeah, let's do it.
Do you? All right.
I do. Relentless player is brought to you by UCAN Youth Services in Edmonton. Yeah, didn't I say that? Yeah,
just do your job.
I did. Brought to you by UCAN Youth Services, an Edmonton charity relentless in helping 16 to 24-year-olds step out of harm's way and into meaningful work. Make that change today, right here at home. Visit ucan.ca. So you're not going to like this one, Shogger. I'm not going to lie. I'm not even going to try to sugarcoat it. I'm putting the Oilers power play down. 2 for 3 tonight. I know that the coach said it was 2 for 2, but I have it down as 2 for 3 in it, and I like the way they're moving the puck around. I thought it was good, and right now they are fourth place in overall power play standings at 30.3, I think 30.3% for fourth. So keep in mind that is also a new coach. They have a new coach running the power play. So I think that's worth noting. This, we're now, a little ways into the season, and they're running it fourth. And some of us wondered what would happen with this power play.
Why did you think I wouldn't like that one?
Well, because it's a group. You don't like me putting in a group. You want like a specific person.
Oh, yeah.
You want me to use their middle name, and sometimes you get a little touchy on that one. So I wrote it down. Schauger won't like it, but I think the people will.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay with it, buddy. I'm not trying to poo-poo all your ideas tonight, just the crappy ones.
Yeah. Fair point. Understand. I was just about to say that, but anyways.
Well, his choice is doing better now, surprisingly. It's ticking up a little bit.
All right. We don't need a play-by-play of option number 4 through the entire show here. I will say, Struds, if I'm a little feisty tonight, I'm not going to lie to you, buddy. Like, those shots you fired at me last show, I mean, they cut a little deep, more than anything, because when Randine got hold of them, she literally couldn't show enough people what you had said about me. My stepdaughter, Avery, was dying laughing, and she's actually in the car with me right now, dying laughing next to me because she thought it was so funny. So I've come out swinging a little tonight, trying to get some redemption. Right. I'm not sure if you've sensed that.
Yeah, no, you're giving love taps, and I hit you with 2 body shots that dropped you.
Just to remind people, I said I couldn't find the Halloween candy because I believe my wife was hiding it from me, and Strud said she must have hit it under the elliptical, which was a solid shot. And then there was a follow-up one about my wife hiding the candy from me and something. Anyways, it was 2 pretty vicious shots, and I'm still feeling the sting. So if I'm overcompensating tonight, it's pretty obvious of me, I would say.
So good. They were good lines. 2 claps and move for me.
No, we're not. We're definitely not doing that. No 2 claps and nothing for you. Okay, Zuby, do we have any sense on Brownie and his timeline and where he's at?
He just messaged me 5 minutes, so we're close.
He messaged you and said 5 minutes. Okay.
And that was 1 minute ago, so some quick math. I'm going to say around 4 minutes.
Okay. Nice job on that quick math. Okay, Roslovic. We were going to talk about Roslovic, but then we ended up chirping each other and getting a relentless player instead. Struds, I feel like for a guy that didn't have a training camp and for a guy that needed to get his feet underneath him, I think they did a good job being patient, because now what they've got is a guy who's clearly feeling it and a guy who is filling into some spaces I wasn't sure he was going to this quickly. I think the returns have been really good here lately.
Well, for $1.5 million, I mean, he's got 2 goals, and it's funny. We've seen him score from distance. Then today we saw him score a la Zach Heinen. I didn't know that he had that in his game, and I haven't watched him play every single game of his life. But he went around the net, showed some nice touch. But the fact that he went to the net, showed that touch, was impressive on the power play. So Tomaszek's had a lot of minutes in that spot, and he hasn't scored on the power play. If I'm correct, I don't think. No, he hasn't. So game 1, boom, he gets in there and he makes it happen. So I think that's another option they could use him at, as on the power play.
Yeah, he's got some nice hands. I like the fact that at speed he can hit the blue line and head up, handles it nicely. He's evasive with it. Like he actually helps a fair amount on entries, I find. I'm not talking about power play entries here. I'm talking about even strength entry, Struds. He's pretty sure-handed coming across that blue line, I have to say.
He is. And I think something to be noted, 22 minutes, almost 23 minutes today. That's a lot. That's a lot for a winger to play that much. Now, there was 4 minutes on the power play, but still, that's a ton. To give you a sense, McDavid was 25 and Leon was less than Roslovic. So that's pretty incredible. I couldn't believe when I saw his ice time total.
Yeah, good night for Jack Roslovic, and 3 really good options for you on the YouTube poll. So let us know what you think. Let's get to our storylines. And that, Struds, is brought to you by Play Alberta. A reminder, keep an eye on our social media platforms on show days because we always put out a storyline that we are interested in. And you can take the action if you want. But that is courtesy Play Alberta, Struds.
Yeah, want to know how Alberta wins? This NHL season, you can find odds boosts on every Oilers game with Play Alberta. And for a limited time only, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code GYB50.
All right, Zuby.
Yeah, well, this is heartbreaking to have to revisit, but we did take today. we took a Jays win and a Vladdy parlayed with a Vlad Jr. home run, and man, when he came up 4-4 in the bottom of the ninth.
I believe so.
I think
And
so.
he was and I thought he hit a double, but I thought this is it. This is the parlay about to happen right here. So didn't happen, but even more upsetting to me is that if the Jays found any way to win, even if we didn't hit that parlay, Struddy, based on our prediction of Jays in 7 from Struddy's World, Wednesdays at noon Mountain Time on all platforms. We put an early bet in through Play Alberta. We put an early storyline in for Jays in 7 specifically, not just Jays to win the World Series, Jays in 7, and we were that close, an eyelash. So, I mean, a great story for everyone following along. It was a great ride. Jays playing till November is kind of like the Oilers playing until June 30th. So we came close, but it was a lot of fun.
I walked down the press row in the ninth. After the ninth inning, and he didn't know I was watching him, but I was just looking at Rob Brown up in the booth. Honestly, you guys, the look on his face, the level of stress, he was rubbing his eyes. He was just in a terrible condition while that was happening. So I felt for him. I was laughing at him. I wanted to take my camera out and start filming him, and I thought, for those who are deep into this, it's probably maybe that isn't quite fair. But he looked like one stressed out individual up there, Struddy.
He's ready. Do you want me to bring him straight in while you're talking about this?
Well,
sure. And I've seen that look from Rob Brown before. That is when coaches told him the forecheck. You get that same look on his face.
All right, hold him off. Let him eat that chirp for the commercial break.
Okay.
Don't bring him in until after the commercial break. We'll be right back with takeaways. And we'll be right back with Rob Brown. And I'm just getting home, Struddy, so I'll let you console Brownie for a few minutes while I get the video up and running. So we'll be right back.
You got it, buddy.
On Got Your Back.
Got it.
Riverside Motorsports is your ultimate multi-brand dealer. With a massive lineup of motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-sides, snow bikes, e-bikes, and snowmobiles, all under one roof. With Alberta's best selection, a huge parts and accessories inventory, and a fully certified service department, Riverside has everything you need to ride. Family owned and serving Edmonton for over 55 years, see what they have to offer in-store just off St. Albert Trail or online at riversidemotorsports.com.
Mainline Water and Sewer specializes in sewer line repair and replacement using advanced trenchless methods for fast, clean results. They provide detailed sewer assessments and scoping to identify problems before they become costly. Serving both residential and commercial properties, no job is too big or too small, and with over 40 years of experience, they've seen it all. Trust Mainline to keep your lines flowing smoothly.
All right, welcome back, everybody. The Oilers win in overtime. The Blue Jays lose in extra innings. Let's get to takeaways brought to you by Chandos Construction. Chandos doesn't just hire talent, they invest in it. They're 100% employee-owned, so when their people grow, their whole company grows. Ready to build something that matters? Apply now at chandos.com/apply. Let's bring him in. There he is, Sir Roberto Brown. Brownie, Blue Jays lose in extra innings. What's your level of emotion at this moment?
I'm really sad. Really sad. Heartbroken. It was an emotional roller coaster. I got to be honest, my eye did not go to the Oilers game at times, as I had my big screen in my booth up top. There was like, I just feel so sad for the players on that team. Just, you know how hard it is to win. You're the massive underdog. You have all these guys overachieving, and then to be so close. You're 2 outs away from living a dream. So, yeah, I mean, it was, I'm emotionally spent from the last 24 hours of watching my Blue Jays.
I want to get to this quote, then we'll move on to the Oilers game. This is from Jeff Hoffman, the closer, or one of the closers / relievers for the Blue Jays. And he says, I cost everyone in here a World Series ring. It feels pretty shitty. And that you never get, I don't think you ever get over that, Brownie.
No, I agree. And my brother sent me that quote. And
okay.
So he is the closer. He came in, he was the one that gave up the dinger in the ninth inning. But and I said we talked about this one on air on Chad. No, and you know what, you've been around. No one player wins a championship by himself, and no one player loses a championship by himself.
100%.
He gave up the home run, yes, but the Blue Jays had bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth with 1 out. They had to get 1 run across the plate, and they would have won the World Series. So, when I was talking about it too, is this isn't something that you ever get over. It's not like, you know what, a week or two from now we're going to feel better about the run we had. This is something, as you said, this is the rest of their life. They're going to remember they were 2 out from being world champions, because there's no guarantee that any of these players will get back to that position again. So that's why I'm so heartbroken for them, because they were so close.
So close. Going to be tough. What a run. It was so much fun. So thanks to Blue Jays. It was unbelievable. The Oilers game. I don't think we have Shoggers yet, so I'll jump in. For those who didn't watch the game, just so you know, Curtis Lazar came in along with no Philp. Out went Stetcher. Out went Tomashek. So that meant no more 6D. They only had, no more 70. They had 6. Then up front, the lines were kind of how you expect. Let's start with the big guns. McDavid, Leon versus Connor Bedard, Burakovsky, who's a new guy for them out of Seattle. What did you think of the big guns today for the Oilers?
Honestly, I thought the best players from both teams were very good. I thought Connor and Leon were good. They looked more like themselves. I thought the Drysdale or Roslovic Podlowski line was very, very good. That was the best line in the game. Connor McDavid looked more like himself in this hockey game. Evan Bouchard, much more polished in this game. And then on the other side, I thought the Blackhawks top line, I thought Burakovsky was very good. Bedard was good. Frank Nassar was good. Where I think the difference, I thought the Blackhawks role players were better than the Oilers role players. As this game moved on, the Blackhawks were the better team in the third period. They controlled the play in the third period, and were probably unlucky to have to go into overtime. But as for the stars in this game, I thought all of the stars for both teams were very good in this hockey game.
Yeah, I think I'm right on with you. I think that they came in and played pretty well. But that line of Roslovic with Leon and Podkolzin, and I think we can, Leon, let's just put him on the side for right now. I'm seeing a level of play from Roslovic that's impressive at this time of year. But I feel like Podkolzin is evolving in our eyes right now. He's holding on to pucks more, not just tonight, even go back a couple games, Brownie.
I agree. Well, it's funny. He was in overtime, and he's dangling going across the blue line. And I'm like, I think at one point he was like, yeah, I'm not supposed to be out here. What am I doing? But, yeah, it seems as though the hard work that he puts in on a daily basis in practice is paying off. He looks more confident with the puck. He's making skilled plays. He's not just making, simple plays. He's making skilled plays. I think they've got some chemistry. That line it's been their best line. It outplayed the McDavid line over the last 4 games. Roslovic looked his best was when the game, I think it was in Seattle, where you saw it's like, okay, now I see what they could get in him. And then he's got better each game since then. And the one thing that I like about Roslovic so far, and it's still early. I mean, these are games in October, November. But he's got enough veteran savvy, Strud, that he doesn't feel that every time he gets the puck, he has to pass it to Leon. And we've seen tons of players, Connor and Leon want the puck. And when you play with them, as soon as you get the puck, you're turning, where's Leon? He's looked Leon off. He's carried the puck and shot when he's had Leon open. And I think he can see the game well enough to realize the best option isn't always going to 29. The best option right now is for me to give it to someone else, me to take the shot. And I think that's why their line has been successful, is they've got a guy that's confident enough to make plays and not feel that he has to give the puck to Leon Draisaitl at all times. And that is something that I think is new for a line mate of Leon Draisaitl, and I think it's been effective.
Hi, Brownie.
Oh, hi, Shogger.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm really sad, Shogger. I'm really sad. It was an emotional roller coaster tonight. I'm glad that every once in a while my wife would text me what the Oilers score was, so I'd know what to be able to say between periods. But it was a tough night. It was a tough night. Watch the Blue Jays 2 outs away. They were 1 run away a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that kills me about it, it was this underdog that may never get this opportunity again. The Bargers, the Clements, the Kirks, all of these players, that they were so close, and that's what's eating me up inside. But yeah, it was an incredible run that just unfortunately ended 1 run too little, and we as Oiler fans know that feeling quite well.
My wife is going to be heartbroken when she listens to this tomorrow because for some insane reason, she has a soft spot for you. And when she hears your voice cracking, talking about the Blue Jays, she is going to feel so much empathy and so much sympathy. And I'm going to have to listen to like, oh, Rob was so sad.
Yeah.
I don't know where this soft spot comes from. It's annoying, but you're going to have lots of sympathy.
I'm a sweetheart, and your wife realizes that, and I appreciate it. That's why she is my favorite, Rishaug, by far. But I think she's everyone's favorite, Rishaug, so that's nothing unusual.
Thanks, buddy. By the way, I
welcome.
wanted to crawl up into your booth and give you a hug. Like when I saw you, when that whole thing, like you looked like, not saying your puppy dog was gone, wouldn't even. It way worse than that, the look on your face in that booth when that game ended, buddy.
Oh, it was awful. Seriously, I felt like throwing up. It was worse than anything I've ever lost. I don't know why, but I felt way worse. I'm like, oh my God. It was a tough night. It was a tough night to be a Blue Jays fan, but we still, the sun will come out tomorrow and we'll celebrate a fantastic year that they had, and something cool will happen tomorrow. I'm going to go home, give my wife a kiss, my daughter a kiss, pet my dogs, and still feel yucky, but at least I'll get that out of the way.
Kayla Weethorn says same. I don't cry, but damn, my heart is heavy for Brownie. And then Kayla threw in a broken heart emoji into the, someone
sweet.
says deflated Rishaug sound. Alex Kanye says, I wouldn't say I'm that deflated, but that's just the way everyone's feeling a little bit tonight. Let's talk a little bit more about this hockey game, and then we're going to cheer everybody up. We'll have Brownie Points, which I think is a high point for a lot of people's nights. They'll suffer through another Struddy's world. We'll do some some core adjustments. We'll see. Hey, why don't we read Brownie the poll? Hey, Zuby, why don't you read Brownie the poll exactly as it sits right now and get Brownie's thoughts on the poll?
Oh, I'd love
Just
to.
read him the poll and all the options. Go ahead.
Sure.
Go ahead, Zuby.
Sure. The poll question, Brownie, is what is Jack Roslovic going to be this year? The choices are locked in top 6 with regular power play time. Second choice is top 6 with power play spot duty. Third choice is middle 6 who can move up. And the fourth choice is placeholder until trade deadline.
I think he'll be a top 6 forward that will get spot duty on the power play. I think Zach Hyman will be the guy when he comes back. I think I don't think Roslovic is a third line guy. I just don't. He's not going to be as. I don't think he'll excel in a checking role, but he looks really comfortable playing with Leon Draisaitl. And maybe the unfortunate summer for him, where he had to change agents and didn't get the contract that he wanted, may have been a blessing in disguise, because he is looking more and more at home playing with Leon Draisaitl so far.
Yeah, it's turning into a nice fit, as they were patient with him, and his offensive ability and his ability to kind of hang on to the puck and make plays and stuff. It's standing out. Okay, you know what? Let's wrap up takeaways there.
Bless you.
You haven't unmuted yet from your adjustment that you made there, Shogger.
He's on a roll.
Going.
He's on a roll right now. Continue on.
Shogger,
you're doing a great job. Okay. Shogger, for those of you who don't follow on, he's just talking. I guess
I'll have to text him.
Is it his grocery list right now?
Oh, gosh.
I hope they're not missing anything good. Like, maybe he's telling us about his whole life story right now.
I think he just threw to break, too.
Okay.
I texted him. Do you want to wave to him, Struddy, or something?
Yeah. Let's just go to break.
Do you want to toss it to break, Struds?
We can't hear you.
Let's toss it to break, and
let's go to break. We're going to break, and we'll get Shogger back.
We have Fence. There's nothing more frustrating than having to wait months for something you're excited about. DLR Vinyl has products you will love stacked to the ceiling in both Calgary and Edmonton. Because summers are for catch and raise, not product delays. Go vinyl at dlrvinylproducts.ca.
For over 60 years, Belvedere Golf and Country Club has delivered a high-quality membership experience to Edmonton and area. And now it's even better. Drainage and irrigation improvements in 2024 have taken course conditions to a new level. This commitment to long-term sustainability means exceptional playing conditions all season long. Belvedere's tee sheet availability is unmatched, so join now and experience golf the way it was meant to be played, on your schedule. Visit belvederegcc.com today.
Hi, everybody, welcome back. Time for Brownie Points, brought to you by Alberta Ram Dealers. The 2025 Ram 1500 is Motor Trend's Truck of the Year. Visit your Alberta Ram dealer to get into this award-winning truck at a competitive price. Capable, stylish, powerful Ram. Brownie, what do you got for us today?
Well, let's start with the good first. I got 931 brownie points to Oilers netminder Stuart Skinner, who had a .931 save percentage tonight. And when the Blackhawks took over the third period, and they did, they were the better team in the third, he held the Oilers in and allowed the Oilers to get that extra point in overtime. I thought it was a fantastic start for Stuart Skinner. I got 217 brownie points to the Oilers centerman in overtime. The Oilers won both faceoffs in overtime, and because of that, had control of the puck for about 210 out of the 217. Faceoffs at times can be an overrated stat, but not in overtime. You win faceoffs in overtime, you control the overtime, and usually you find a way to win the hockey game. I got 3 brownie points to Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch, who used 3 pairs of forwards in overtime. We've seen in the past where Connor and Leon have started, there's been a whistle, and Chris Knobloch has called a timeout to keep his star players on the ice. Tonight, they didn't. They changed. They put 3 different pairs out there, and since the Oilers were winning faceoffs and controlling play, when Connor and Leon stepped back on the ice, they were facing 3 Chicago Blackhawks that were absolutely exhausted because they had not touched the puck and could not get off the ice. And at that point, the game was over. It was just a matter of time. I got 9 brownie points to the parity in the National Hockey League tonight and this season. 6 games tonight went to overtime or a shootout. 9 games were 1 goal or an empty net goal. The difference in the NHL in the overall standings between 8th overall and 29th overall is 4 points. So going on a little run like 9-2 or 10-3 for the Edmonton Oilers can help separate them from all those that are chasing. And final, I'm heartbroken about my Blue Jays, and it's not going to change my life tomorrow, and I know the sun will be shining. But I feel for all the players on this team being so close. The pain that will last a lifetime. It was an incredible run, but it ended one run too few. Having said that, I must give credit and 3 brownie points to Dodgers pitcher Yamamoto, who in a series where their team won 4 games, he won 3 of them. He was 3-0 with a 1 ERA in this series. Starters, which he is, usually go every 4 or 5 days. And sometimes, if in a really important pitch, you might get them on for a short bit of time on 3 days rest. They never pitch back-to-back. He pitched last night, won the game, then came and pitched tonight 3.5 innings and won the game today. He was the World Series MVP, and in a sad, sad moment for my Blue Jays, I must acknowledge we may have seen the greatest pitching performance by a pitcher in World Series history, and I will give credit to the Dodgers superstar. And those, my friends, are tonight's brownie points.
Check test. Check test. 1, 2.
Oh, there.
You guys
Greetings.
got me?
We got you, buddy.
Having some technical issues. Had to reboot my soundboard. Sorry about that. Yeah, Struds, how do you feel about Brownie giving brownie points to the Dodgers? Is that okay? Is that offside tonight? You good with that?
They earned this. They earned it, man. Let's just be honest. I wanted the Blue Jays to win. This isn't an anti-Toronto thing. The Dodgers, they found a way, right? I mean, give them credit. They found a way. They scrapped it out. They have elite starting pitching, and you saw it tonight. All of them were in their pitching. They earned it. I tip your hat. Baseball talk, I guess.
Black Cloud 157 says Shogger is having a tough night. Mars Boy says, I'm sure whatever Ryan was saying was gold, Jerry. JL coming over the top. You guys will like this one. Mute is the only way Shogger going to win an argument.
Randy, don't text those in there.
Also, Shogger, you're quiet now. You're quiet now. I don't know if you can give your volume.
I was messing with my. How's that? Is that better? 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, that's good. I can work with that.
All right. Sorry about that. All right. Let's get to core adjustments, and that is brought to you by HSE Core Services. If you need a safety program, they can build it for you. If you need it managed, they can do that too. Stuck dealing with those online safety registries that your clients make you sign up for? They can get that done as well. If you own a business, you know exactly the types of things that we're talking about, and you need HSE Core Services. They do core audits as well. Go to www.hsecor.com for more information. Brownie, we haven't really got your thoughts on Bouchard here. Struds and I started the show talking about him. You know, a couple of nights ago, we're in there thumping him with questions about turnovers and big mistakes, and he's pretty even keel with his answers. And tonight he scores an overtime winner. Played a better game, not a perfect game, but a better game, and scores an overtime winner. And again, he's in there answering questions post-game. He's even keel as can be. He's kind of always the same. But are you seeing some adjustments in his game?
Well, it was cleaner tonight. Again, not perfect, but nobody other than Connor and Leon can play perfect hockey. We see the elite of him, though. He understands when to jump in. He wasn't a flyby. He got the first shot. He stayed with it and got a second shot away. He's got elite ability. I mean, the playoffs that we've seen the last 2 years are not a fluke. And it's just the beginning of this season. Maybe that is the outlier. Maybe that's the fluke. Because he has been so bad at times. And it is shocking, some of the plays that he's made. But I thought tonight was, when Darnell Nurse gets into trouble, he tries too much. And I think that's the same with Evan Bouchard. When he gets in trouble, he tries too much. Tonight was a much cleaner game. Was rewarded with a couple points in the game-winning goal. This is what, if you get this from Evan Bouchard on a consistent basis, you're getting the best of Evan Bouchard. So, you got to give him props when he plays well, and I thought he had a good game tonight.
Yeah, Go ahead, Struds.
No, I think he's on it, and I think it was Leon or Connor their last game said, you know what, we're trying to force things that aren't there at times, and he's right, and just move that puck quick, just get it up, get it off your stick, and just slowly build your business back, what you do best. And he's not out of the woods yet. None of them are, and no one's playing perfect hockey. But Connor said it's October hockey, and we're working on it.
What did you think of the line changes that Chris Knobloch made and the guys that came in, Struds?
Yeah, I mean, Lazar and Philp, I thought Philp got screwed on that. I'm going to call it. He got screwed on that penalty. I didn't like that at all. I thought it was a hard play going for the puck. He knocked the guy down, but how else is he supposed to take that puck? He's going there determined to take it. So I didn't like that. Lazar was buzzing around. I don't know that the game was, tilted by what they did, but it's clear that the head coach doesn't want guys to marinate too long in the extra skates.
Yeah, I agree.
Brownie?
I don't think he did anything to hurt himself. I don't think he stood out. I would imagine, and I'm just from my experience, that when you play well, and he has, and find yourself in the press box, the next time you come in, you'd be a little nervous. You're afraid to make a mistake now. And I think he was playing with a ton of confidence at the beginning of the year through exhibition, ton of confidence, was making plays and felt comfortable doing it. He had found himself out of the lineup. And so to me, he looked a little more tentative. And I think that's just human nature, because you don't want to make any mistakes now, because when you played well, you got into the press box, so a mistake will certainly get you back there. So I thought he was fine. He's in my lineup on a nightly basis, but I think tonight was a little more tentative than what we saw from the confidence Philp earlier in the year.
How many power plays did the Hawks get? Did they just end up with, what do I have in my notes here? I've only got one of my notes, but these aren't that thorough tonight.
I think it was just one game they got scored on, right? The back door. Back door.
So here's the point that I was going to make. Early in the day, when we were asking Knobloch about Philp coming back into the lineup, he said that we'd like to get him penalty killing. If he's going to be in the lineup, we'd like to get him doing that. He said that pregame. And then if you notice, that penalty kill tonight, McDavid and Draisaitl were not the second grouping that went out. They didn't go out. Now, I'm not sure. They might have been the last group ready to go. But I wonder, Struds, and this was your Struddy's world the other day, that it's time for this to stop, between Philp potentially getting a look on the penalty kill, and maybe he might have tonight had he not been in the penalty box. Maybe they're making that change with 97 and 29, so something to keep an eye on there, Struddy.
Yeah, and that's fair. And I want to make it clear. It's not because I think Connor and Lane are doing a bad job. It's because I want someone else to have another job, and I want them to be fresher. They don't need to play 25 minutes a night. So, when Janmark, the janitor, comes back, does he get an opportunity to take his spot in the lineup and then take his spot, obviously, in that penalty kill? And if that happens, who's his partner? Maybe it's Philp. Podkolzin is another guy. I would like to see him. He should get a piece of that penalty kill. He's big. He moves pretty well. But you have to introduce these guys now, because you can't tell them to do it game 82.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Stretch. I think that Connor and Leon should be situational penalty killers. When you need a goal late in hockey games, that's fine. But you've got to give other players roles. They have to feel they're part of the team contributing on a nightly basis. And you've got to cut back on the ice time of Connor and Leon. They don't need to be playing 23, 24 minutes a night in October and November. I'm fine with that in May and June, but not now. There's other players that can penalty kill and be successful, and save Connor and Leon for the 5-on-5 in the power play.
Last thought, wrapping this up, thought Stuart Skinner bounced back nicely. He made some big saves and bailed his guys out a few times tonight from some mistakes. I thought there was some decent degree of difficulty saves he made tonight, Brownie.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that was my first brownie point, was Stuart Skinner and his save percentage tonight. In the third period, the Blackhawks were the better team and easily could have won this game in regulation. Shots, I think, were 13-5. And he made some big saves. And then in overtime, Hawks only had one shot in overtime, but it was Connor Bedard with time and space.
Mm-hmm.
And Skinner made a good save on that one. It could have been a really ugly night for Oilers/Blue Jay fans if that one had snuck by. But Stuart Skinner, I thought he had a very strong game, and I thought both goalies played well, but Skinner was just a little bit better.
All right. I missed that brownie point because I was talking into a microphone that didn't work, that nobody could hear, and no one was listening anyways. I missed that brownie point. Time now for Struddy's World. Roll the animation, Zoobs.
When you make a mistake, heads should roll. It's not right. And I'm here. Someone has to put their foot down. Now that I say it out loud, it does sound a little crazy.
Gotta look good.
Is this a new remix, Zuby?
This is the pop version. I like this one.
All right. Time now for Struddy's World, brought to you by Batty Realty and Royal LePage AR Team Realty. Buying a home's a big decision, and the team at Batty Realty guides clients through the complex process with expertise and care, providing unwavering support even after the keys are handed over. Their clients will say they truly make you feel like you are the only client that they have. Visit battyrealty.com. It's a little aggressive. Zuby.
Struds? It's not heavy metal. It's like indie. It's like indie rock.
There's a lot going on.
Maybe here, but I love that beginning. That's fun. I don't know what happened there.
Take it away, Struds.
Little skip there.
So I go for a lot of walks with my dog, and I walk by different in little communities, and there's a lot of places that give out haircuts. And, the other day I was noticing as I walked by multiple places, they have these pictures of these men, just good looking guys, and sick rugs on their head, like just beautiful hair. And they're basically inviting you in. We can cut your hair this way, or cut your hair this way, or cut your hair this way. Nowhere do I see a gentleman who is slightly challenged with some recession on his hair and them saying, we'll do our best with your hair, or we can maybe make you a 6 instead of a 5 currently. And there are some people in this group that are challenged. Now, I'm not necessarily putting myself in that group, but what I want is when someone has a slightly recession or a monkey bum that is there, I want them to look and see themselves. I don't want them to see other. I want them to look up and say, that looks like me. And this guy or this girl says, hey man, I can help you out. I can take you close to where you want to be, but we have to be honest because you are in a recession. So all I'm asking is every barber, every hairstylist across Edmonton and Northern Alberta, or really anyone who's listening, let's see some pictures of people who actually may have a slight recession. Maybe the snow is coming off the rooftop a little earlier than they want.
Yeah, I agree with you, Struds. I walk in, I look, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to look like any of those people right there. My haircuts are short. My haircuts are cheap. I'm in and out very quickly. I think the longest I'm there is when I'm pulling the Werthers out of the little jar so I can have a little candy as I leave. But yeah, I'm with you on that one too. It's sad. It's almost like a look of apology in the girl's eyes as she cuts my hair. I'm sorry, this is the best I can do. And I'm like, I know. I'll put my ball cap on now. See you later.
You do look great in a got your back backwards ball cap, though, Brownie. I will say you wear the hell out of the got your back reverse cap, the Pro Fit one that we have.
Proud of my podcast. Proud of your podcast.
It was suggested to me at the dinner table tonight. One of the kids, the suggestion was made to me about getting on a plane and going to Turkey. Like, all right, this is. I mean, there are varying degrees of situations that need, management, right, Struds? So I would say that, you could probably argue there's 3 different degrees on this show of varying situations, maybe 4. We'll include Zuby in there as well.
Right.
Am I delusional or to think that I'm not in the vicinity of getting on a plane to Turkey yet? Am I delusional?
If I was you, I would have gone already.
I think you look good, Shogger. I think you look good.
You look great. You look great.
Struds, do you actually think you're doing better than me in the hair department? Like, do you actually actively believe this?
I 100% in my heart believe it. But listen, I don't want this to be a pissing match between you and me who has less snow on the rooftop in the spring. My fight right now, my battle is with all the hair salons to have no one that look like you or I when I walk in there.
Yeah.
I want to see someone who looks like me when I walk in there.
Yeah. All right. Well,
sorry,
good fight, buddy.
Brownie, you walk out with the ball. You get your haircut and the ball cap goes back on.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. All right, thank you. Looks good. Appreciate it.
You don't wait till you're outside.
Oh no, Sherry, my girl. I've been going to see Sherry for years, and Sherry knows. All right, did the best I could. Okay, thank you. Here's the $5. See you later.
I always joke. I always joke when I get my hair cut. I feign like I'm going to put the ball cap back on, as if I were like putting a bunch of salt on my meal right in front of the chef, and then I joke. I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. It's fine.
That's great. All right, Brownie. With that, my friend, we're going to cut you loose, buddy, and go and lick your wounds. We hope you have a nice, relaxing Sunday. And look forward to chatting with you after the next game. What do we got next? We got Oilers back-to-backs, right? Blues and Stars. So we'll chat on Monday night, pal.
We are only 162 games and 4 series away to getting back to the World Series. So it's practically overnight we'll be starting up again.
Yep. All right. Holding out hope. Thanks, Brownie. Talk to you soon, pal.
Bye, guys.
All right. That is Rob Brown. Struds, before we dive into break, why don't we take a look at what else went on around the National Hockey League today and get to our scoreboard. That's brought to you by the Bridge Sports Therapy. They offer a comprehensive approach that extends beyond temporary pain relief and focuses on developing long-term strength and resilience. They've got clinics in Edmonton, Sherwood Park, Lethbridge. They're opening up pretty soon here in St. Albert's. Learn more at thebridge.fit. That is their website.
All right, tons of games tonight, 13 games. We'll start in Winnipeg. The Jets beat the Penguins 5-2. In that game, Sidney Crosby got his 9th goal of the year. That puts him in second place, tied with others, but that's incredible. Sid is off to an amazing start. The Flames got down 3-0 to the Predators, clawed back a little bit, but they ultimately lost 4-2 in Nashville, which stung a bit. The Canadian Senators, an all-Canadian battle, they win in a shootout. The Canadians do 4-3. Cole Caulfield got his 10th goal of the year in that one. And the winner in the shootout was, in overtime, I should say, was Alex Newhook with his 5. That's working out for them. The Leafs beat the Flyers 5-2 in Philadelphia. And finally, the Wild took down the Canucks 5-2. So lots of games tonight, but the Oilers get the 3-2 win and maintain a position in the standings.
Yeah, just taking a peek at those standings. So it's 6-4-3. They got 15 points, Struds, and it's so tight right now. I mean, you put a couple of wins together, get 3 points in 4 nights, and you're in good shape. So sitting in second in the Pacific Division right now, tied with Vegas. Like Vegas has 15 points as well. So very much Vegas with a couple of games in hand, but they've come through October without some massive hill to climb. Hey.
Yeah, they're in the mix, right? And again, McDavid said it after the game, like we're October hockey, and listen, I think that they have a much higher level. No Zach Hyman. We cannot underestimate the impact that he has. And he might not be the same Zach Hyman right away, but him coming back balances a lot of things on lineup and then pushes options down. And what that option happens, I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to finding out if it is indeed Nuge who goes to third line center. And that line now becomes pretty decent.
Yeah. Okay, that was our scoreboard brought to you by the Bridge Sports Therapy and Training. Alex Kanye says, Rishaug, grow it out and pull off the Mike Keenan. What's the Mike Keenan? Is my hair like Mike Keenan's?
Back. No, just peel it way
get
back.
the gel in there.
Get the gel, yeah. All right. Okay, let's get to our final break. And when we come back, Struds and I are going to take a couple laps around the league, and we'll get to Ask Us Anything as well, our play of the day too. So still lots ahead here on Got Your Back, presented by Timberhouse Developments. Stay with us.
So at Timberhouse, our guiding philosophy is naturally inspired living. We believe that through design, we can solve problems and enhance people's lives. We follow biophilic design principles in all of our builds to incorporate natural materials, natural light, to enhance all the spaces in a home. When you have your space perfectly reflect who you are and what you value, and it's made well, we think that that just leads to better living.
Therapeutic. Time now for Taking a Lap, brought to you by Riverside Motorsports, your multi-brand motorsports dealer serving Edmonton for over 55 years, offering a wide selection of new and pre-owned motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-sides, snow bikes, e-bikes, snowmobiles. They have everything. An extensive inventory from industry-leading brands. Located just off St. Albert Trail, or you can check them out online at www.riversidemotorsports.com. I'm not going to lie to you, Struds. I wasn't that focused on what else was going on around the league, so whatever you're about to talk about might be news to me.
Well, this one came out earlier today. Jacob Markstrom signs a 2-year extension with the Devils. This wasn't a big surprise. I think that both sides want it to happen. It's been a good fit. Now they have he and Jake Allen wrapped up, I believe, for the next, well, not counting this year, but 2 years after this. So I guess 3 years total. Nice pickup, or nice $6 million for 2 years. $6 million.
Yeah. And having their goaltending sort of locked in, right? Like they know what they've got, and they've got two guys with lots of experience. Overall dollar figure, maybe a little high between, when you combine the two of them, but they can count on these guys.
Yeah, they can. And they're obviously very comfortable with it. And a problem they had was not having the goaltending they wanted before these two gentlemen came over. Adam Lowry is threatening to return on Tuesday. Not threatening, it's probably the wrong choice of word, but he is looking like he's going to come back and play Tuesday. He's been out since the hip surgery in the offseason. He's a huge part of their team. The Jets are off to a good start, but getting him back, Jonathan Toews has been pretty good. But I don't know that it's their centers that have been the issue. I think their wingers, Ehlers, gone. Perfetti hasn't been there. Ehlers gone. Perfetti, I think, has been in and out with the lineup. So it'll help to get him back, but I think it's their wingers they're really, really going to need as well.
Have rattled off 3 straight wins and 8 in their last 10, and all of that without a pretty heart and soul guy. So much like the Oilers and their prospects looking up with Zach Hyman coming back, that is a big, big boost for that Jets team when that happens.
Yeah, really big deal. That third line was so good, and he's he's their captain. He just gets it. Not the fastest guy, but he really understands the game. And finally, a bit of a scary moment in the Leafs-Flyers game. Chris Tanev was hit from behind, but in mid-ice, and not that I would call a terrible, disaster, dangerous hit, but he stayed down. They had to stretcher him off. Now, it's important to note, post-game, Craig Berube said it looks like he's going to be okay, and they're continue to do some tests. But a scary moment for a guy that you never see stay down, right? Like if Chris Tanev's is staying down, you've got a big problem.
Bit of a blue line pick. Was it Mitchkoff that I saw did it? Who?
Yeah. And honestly, but I don't think it was intentional. This is not a dirty hit. Like I said, a hit from behind, but it was not plowing from behind. It was one of those situations that, it's scary to think that, something rather innocent could injure anyone, including Chris Tanev.
Okay. That was Take a Lap, brought to you by Riverside Motorsports. Let's keep cruising right along here. Zuby, let's bring up that amazing poll idea that we had earlier on in the show. And let's see how the people felt about the 4 options available to them. And we can assume that the ones they liked the most got the most percentage of votes, and the ones that they thought were kind of crappy and didn't make sense got the least, but I'm not sure. How did it shake out?
I think that's fair to say. Here's how it played out. The question was, what is Jack Roslovic going to be this year? Top
Great question.
6 with power play spot duty came in at 41%. It surprised me a little bit. Middle 6 who can move up came in at 31%. I thought there might be a little bit more recency bias towards what we saw tonight, which did come in third to suggest locked in top 6 with regular power play time. 21%. That's still a pretty good chunk. And placeholder until trade deadline. It might surprise you to know got 7% of the vote, despite its early slow start. It's for some reason ticked up over time.
Oh, it came roaring back to 7%.
Right.
That's we're talking about that like it's some sort of win.
I was going to lead with that actually, doing the results here.
Well, I'll just say you're welcome, guys, for doing the whole poll tonight, and I can probably chip in every couple of weeks with one like that.
Oh boy! Like, is Struds ever going to take a loss on this show? Ever? Is he? Is there anything he can do that is ever people are going to agree is Struddy takes a loss tonight?
It wasn't about wins and losses. I was just providing options. I wasn't saying that's what I believe is to be true, but I was trying to fill out the poll, and it was a great solution to a loose thread that you weren't able to cut.
Oh man,
Struddy's Teflon though; it just slides off of him. It's the swagger. That's
super. You know what we need to do for Struddy to take some losses on this show? We need to get Shona more involved than she currently is in the show.
Right.
If we start actively engaging with Shona on this show, the big guy will take his losses guaranteed.
No, she can try, right? Others have tried.
Quaddy says, I love how Struddy's overconfidence consistently trumps Schauger's realistic views on things. Thanks, Quaddy. Very reasonably said. Kayla Weathorn says, Struddy doesn't know any different other than winning. Yeah.
Fair. Thank you.
Start calling Struddy the Dawn, says Calvin Bess. Yes. Gets annoying after 5 years of hosting a show with the guy that just never takes an L. All right, let's get to Ask Us Anything. Brought to you by Mortgages by Maria. Rates are falling. The market's heating up, and that means opportunity for you. Maria Gallus has the lender connections and the strategy to get you more options than the bank ever will. Don't settle for average. Don't settle for whatever the bank wants to hand you. Go to Maria, and she'll give you a big, long list of options, and it'll be perfectly tailor-made for exactly your situation. Check her out, mortgagesbymaria.ca. Randy and I have used Maria multiple times. She does a great job, really serves her clients well. So highly recommend that you check her out or give her a call. All right, Zuby, what are the people saying tonight, my friend?
All right, we got a couple hockey ones, and we'll get to some fun stuff as well. Gong Show wants to know what's the update on Regula. I'd sure like to get another look at him, his composure and skating with the puck. He's been skating, right? I mean, for some time. When do we expect he might draw back in, Schauger?
I would have thought he would have been back by now. I've been watching him, like he's skating pretty well. It was at morning skate today, so that wouldn't shock me if he ended up in the lineup, Monday, Tuesday, or whatever. But at the same time, Knobloch doesn't love changing a winning lineup, so I'm not sure if it'll be next game or not.
Anything to add, Struddy? Are you good?
No, not. I mean, I'm not at the practice side. He sees them. I wonder if it's not roster because that'd be 9 defensemen you're carrying, right? So I don't know if that has the implication, but it's a lot, right? It's a lot of D-men to be carrying around.
Quaddy would like to know with Roslovic playing as he is, does this mean Tommy Tomashek can use some time in Bakersfield? We've talked a lot about the possibility of it being Isaac Howard. Is what's transpiring now make that more likely in your eyes, Struddy?
Yeah, I don't think that Tommy was ever going. Well, I don't view him as a top 6 forward, so I don't think they're competing for the same ice time. What would concern me if I was Tomashek, though, was the way that Roslovic looked on the power play tonight, because Tomashek's been pretty good on the power play. I think he has, but Roslovic had a pretty good day on the power play. You're starting to lose spots here, aren't we, for Tom?
Are you guys just nicknaming him Tom tonight? Like, are you just starting? Are you just starting that tonight? We're just coining that.
Well, just following
taking license over that.
It came from the message, so I upgraded it today. He called him Tommy. The commenter called him Tommy, and I clarified who we were talking about.
Okay, gotcha. I agree with you, those Struds. Like watching Roslovic tonight, just bury on the power play and making plays, and did a pretty good job in front of the net, making plays at the blue line. Like he did a good job for his first crack in that spot.
DJ Regier wants to know, kind of following on this same topic, when, if all the forwards are healthy, does Janmark have a spot in the lineup? I think you've been pretty clear, Struddy. You think the coaches like this player. How do you see it kind of playing out? Is he for sure slotting right back in when he's ready?
I do think so. I do think he will. He shows up when they need him the most, right? And he has that big moments for this team. I think the coach trusts him out there in any situation. But how do the pieces fit together? Not, if we assume he's in, someone has to come out. So, okay, Curtis Lazar comes out. That's okay. Whether that's fair or not, that's what happens. Hyman goes in, someone has to come out. Who's coming out? Is it immediately Phil that comes out? Right? That's getting to be a number of players there that have to come out, and how they fit together.
Mm-hmm. Well said. Are you not an insider, Shog? Whole team calls him Tommy. No, but you were calling him Tom. You guys shortened it to Tom, which is what I took issue with.
Well, there was a Thomas, I think, with an H we actually used at one point.
Okay.
And then we just called him T, and then I believe I called him T-Bone. And DJ Regier says, no 5-on-5 goals tonight versus Chicago. That's a little bit disappointing. Should it be disappointing? What did you think they created 5-on-5, or is that just, who cares, we got to win? Schauger?
Yeah, I mean, this is, don't pick apart a win, I would say. I think they figured out a way to win a game. Yeah, they've scored so many 5-on-5 goals a couple of games. They have 5 in the second period.
Yeah.
And Knobloch sort of joked and said, yeah, that's like 3 or 4 games worth. So I think we still give him credit for that period tonight and not look to criticize.
Agreed.
Neil Garrity wants to know, I think this is out there, but Schauger, you can clarify for us. In a shootout, does the home team decide if they go first or second? The Oilers always go first, and it's not good. How does that go? I believe it's.
Yeah, so I'll take it over. The home team can decide. And when they first started coming out, the home team would always go second because they want to see what happened. But that's flipped. Now the home team wants to go first to put pressure on the visiting team.
Not everybody's got a Strudwick sitting there 17th in the order, ready to commit.
That's right. You want me to end this thing, coach, right now, or should you drag it out a little longer?
What number were you? What number in the shootout were you?
I was like,
you were 11
or 15.
Oh, even that far?
It's like, 13 or 14. It was pretty deep.
That was the classic example, though, of the Strudwick confidence that I have been harping against today. Like,
I wasn't confident. I'm not going to lie. I was scared shitless. And MSG, 20,000 people. I was so nervous. I remember thinking, I just have to hit the net. Just give the puck a chance to go in. That's all I thought.
Yeah. Was your move better or worse than Podkolzin's tonight?
Well, I didn't have a move. I shot it through a goalie, but I think it was lucky. But yeah, Podkolzin, I mean, whatever, good for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, Canadian, these are the last hockey ones. Canadian says, I got 2 questions for Struddy. 1, do you have any crazy Mike Keenan stories? And 2, why did you play in Switzerland in 06-07? It doesn't have to be why. You can just let us in.
Yeah, they're both, these are pretty long ones. I'll give you a quick Mike Keenan one. I played a bad shift, or he felt was a bad shift, my first shift at the Forum in LA. And after that, he made me go and sit on the other side of the goalie on the bench. And I sat there for the entire game. So I played 1 shift, and he told me, don't ever effing have a bad first shift to start the game. And I didn't think I was even that bad. So I sat for a whole game. Wow. Switzerland, it's a little bit longer story. I had signed a contract with, I had a intention to sign a contract with the Islanders. I went away on my honeymoon, and while I was gone, the GM of that team was fired, and that deal just went sideways. And all the other teams had taken their Strudwicks. So I had nothing. So my agent said, you should maybe go into coaching. I'm like, coaching? I said a 2-year deal. So I went to Switzerland, then eventually came back, and that was it. Yeah, that was a real mess.
Yeah. But you recovered. You made it through.
Yeah, I did. Honestly, once I went to Switzerland, I was happy to stay there. I was happy to play in Europe for another 5 or 6 years, and then I came back right away. But yeah, I wasn't upset about going over. I was like, okay, no problem. I just wanted to keep playing for a little bit longer.
Nice. All right, I got 2 Blue Jays questions, 2 Halloween questions, and then we'll wrap it up. Canadian wants to know, honest question, did the Dodgers earn it or did the Jays give it away? I'll go to you, Struddy.
I actually don't like this question. I think they earned it. I mean, they won the long one. They came back tonight and they found a way. And so I would suggest the Blue Jays were unable to find a way to close it out. And they gave the Dodgers a chance, and the Dodgers made the most of it. So therefore, I believe they earned it.
You head into the other team's barn and peel a couple of games out and win a World Series, and you do it and come from behind fashion in Game 7, you've earned it. Like, I don't care what mistakes they made. You have earned it when you go on the road and do that.
I agree. And they chipped away. It wasn't like it was like one bit, there were some mistakes made, but they chipped away. The Jays had their chances to put it away and they couldn't do it. Aaron St. Pierre, okay, with disclosure on this, that he kind of messaged after that he was feeling bad, not feeling bad about this comment, but he hadn't maybe thought about the whole big picture of it. But he said, if I can be petty for a moment, when the kid out front was crying at the end of the game in the $16,000 seat, I had no remorse for him. Does that make me a bad person? Which is funny, and like, he's a good guy. He's nothing malicious here, but you understand that visual. Yeah. Those thoughts went through his head. You guys have any, is the guys, the angel and devil on your shoulders, have any comment about that situation, guys? Struddy?
I feel bad for the little kid.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about the money part. I mean, just Big Red was upset, and they always seem to pan to kids that are crying in the stands. Like, of course kids are going to be sad. Pan to the 41-year-old man who's sitting there just tearing up. That's the guy I want to see.
I want to see Rob Brown up in the booth. I want to see Robbie Brown head in hands up in the booth.
Let's leave Big Red out of this. The poor guy, what was he, 10 years old? And I get it. I was upset too. If the Oilers lost, 86 or 87, 88, whatever it was, they lost. I was so sad. I remember lost to the Flames. I was sad too.
Okay, let's switch to Halloween briefly. Davin wants to know, how was Halloween? Anything stand out for you guys? Struddy, there's still some trick-or-treating in your house, right?
Yeah, but I was in a hotel, so I didn't. There was nothing special happening.
I didn't realize how many people count the kids. I was in my neighbor's garage and we had a couple of fire pits going and the Blue Jays game, and like Maeve had like a clipboard and was like marking it down. And I guess people count every year, so they know how many come through. I don't know. I guess everyone does that. So somebody today said the number 600. Someone at the rink, I can't remember who said 600 kids. How many did you have, Zuby?
That was about my number. Mine was between 500 and 600.
It's crazy.
It's a busy spot for sure. But like I said, I wasn't sitting there ticking them off because I would have had carpal tunnel by the end of the night. But we had 1,000 pieces of candy and I was giving out 2 per kid. And then I realized I was going to be out before 7:00. So with about 100 left, I had to switch it to 1 per kid, which seems kind of chintzy when they've what do you call it? The size of a Snickers, bite-sized Snickers is now a square. It's like,
yeah, they've really cut that back. Hey, that Snickers bite size.
Yeah,
no, like it's probably 1/3 of what it once was.
Sorry luckily they're not a sponsor. The shrinkflation on Snickers, I think, has been felt more than on any other candy for me personally. Anyway, so I had to switch to give them 1, and that still only got us to 7:30. So I went through 1,000 pieces of candy between basically 5:30 and 7:30 in 2 hours. In lighter news from Kayla Weathorn to put a button on this Halloween chat, I dressed up as Struddy for Halloween, a pair of black Calvin Kleins with a set of antlers atop my head. So there's a visual for you all. Thank you,
Send
Kayla.
photos.
Yeah, Kayla. Nice work, girl.
All right, and last one, and this is very important, and we're going to turn the page here on Halloween. JL wants to know, is Shogger's Xmas tree up yet since it's past Halloween? When's it happening, Shogger? I think is what we really want to know.
No, she resisted the temptation. I think a date has been set already. It's not normally it would be up first, second, third, somewhere in that range. We might be waiting the extra week this year. So I'm not going to complain. I love the Christmas spirit. Randine's all into it. So I'm not going to complain, but no, not yet. A little bit premature.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward, as always, to pictures and videos of the when it goes over the top and when it happens.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it'll be a thing this year. Okay, well, that was Ask Us Anything. That was it. That was brought to you by Mortgages by Maria. Let's wrap the show, shall we, with our Mainline play of the day. It's brought to you by Mainline Water and Sewer, your trusted choice for over 40 years. Specializing in sewer line replacement and expert in water line repair and replacement as well. Slow drains are a sign letting you know it's time for attention. And aging lines can cause basement backups. Their trenchless method is quick, low impact, and often finished in a day, complete with backflow protection. Visit mainlinewaterandsewer.ca. Struds, who's got the play of the day today, buddy?
The moment I saw it, I wrote it down. The bench clearing gathering in the middle of the Blue Jays and Dodgers. I loved it. Yeah. I thought that was so great. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what is going on here? So that was, to me, the moment. Well, if they would have won, it would have been a better moment. But in light of the loss, that's the moment of the day. Play of the day.
That's funny in ball, hey? Like, a couple guys chirp and everybody feels they need to run onto the field? Like just to sit around and chit-chat? I don't know.
Loved it.
It feels like a bunch of pretending. Everybody knows nothing's going to happen.
No, but when it does flare up, it's funny. You never know. This one time there'll be a huge brawl.
Even the bullpens.
That's the even most ridiculous part, because first someone's got to wake everybody up and be like, "Hey, look what's going on," and then they got to run halfway across the field to get.
Well, then they always cut to the high shot, and they're like so far away. You see them running. They're like they're going to be there in like 30, 40 seconds from now. But anyways, it was It was an interesting night, sports fans. Oilers pick up a win in overtime. Blue Jays a heartbreaking loss. I know everybody's feeling it. But, man, it was a really fun ride. Whether you're a massive fan, a fair weather fan, a bandwagon jumper, whatever your situation was, gave you a month or two of great entertainment if it was a disappointing finish. Thanks so much for joining us tonight on the show. We appreciate it. Struds and I, Brownie, Zuby, we'll all be back on Monday night. Oilers flying tomorrow, and they'll be in St. Louis on Monday night. And we'll chat after that one. Good night, guys. Thanks.
See you, pal.
See you guys.